Hello, Year 4. So Pip has come to the conclusion, well, not Pip, but Richard Burbage has come to the conclusion that he does not have it. So he's got himself a job at the Globe, somewhere to sleep, some scraps to eat. Things are starting to look up. Let's see what chapter 32 has in store. In the morning, when Cuthbert Burbage arrived at the Globe, bringing a bag of coins and his accounts book, several people had already started preparing for that afternoon's performance. The wardrobe mistress was sewing costumes, a carpenter was building a ship's prow, a bleary-eyed writer was making some last-minute corrections to the prompt book, and a small boy was kneeling in the centre of the stage, scrubbing the wooden planks. Cuthbert greeted each of them in turn, saying, "Good morning, Molly," to the wardrobe mistress. "Good morning, Christopher," to the carpenter. "Good morning, Mr. Decker," to the writer. And "Good morning, boy," to the boy, scrubbing the stage. "Good morning, Mr. Burbage," replied the boy. Cuthbert recognised him as the boy who had auditioned yesterday. Last night, over dinner, his brother Richard had mentioned how, partly out of pity and partly through an intuition that the boy might be a hard worker, he had offered him a job. Do you remember how persistent Pip was, to the point of being a little irritating in the last chapter? "What's your name, boy?" "I was christened Philip, sir, but people call me Pip." "Philip what?" "Philip Stone, sir." "It's nice to meet you, Philip Stone. I'm Cuthbert Burbage." "I know who you are, sir." "Tell me something, Philip. Do you think it's going to rain?" "No, sir." "I hope you're right." Without another word, Cuthbert walked back to the galleries, took a seat and started working on his accounts, pausing every few minutes to glance at the sky and check the state of the clouds. He certainly hoped that the boy was right. Rain caused problems for the theatre. In the more expensive seats, up in the galleries, sheltered by the roof, the audience might manage to stay mostly dry, but the groundlings, the people who paid a penny to stand in the pit, had no protection from the weather. They were baked in the sun and drenched by the rain. On wet days, or days that looked like they would turn wet, most of them stayed at home rather than risking a soaking. Without their pennies, the Globe, and the Burbage brothers, lost money on every performance. It never occurred to Cuthbert that Pip might have spent the entire night in the theatre, sleeping in one of the galleries. He simply assumed that the boy had come to work as early as possible on his first real day, determined to make a good impression. Every few minutes, Cuthbert lifted his head from his books, keeping a mental note of who arrived late, who looked drunk, and who sneaked upstairs for a quick snooze when he should be rehearsing. He knew what actors were like. They needed a firm hand. Otherwise, they'd just laze around all day doing nothing. Even the most hard-working actors really only work for 2 hours a day, wasting the rest of their lives in gambling, gossip and drink. If Cuthbert had been an actor himself, perhaps he would have felt differently. But his very few experiences of stepping on the stage in front of a paying audience had always ended in boos, laughter and soft fruit flying through the air in his direction. That day, one person did gain Cuthbert's approval. Other boys spent half their time giggling, chatting or playing the fool, but not Philip Stone. He was always to be seen waiting patiently for orders, then fulfilling them without complaint or question. In the afternoon, after the play had finished, Cuthbert found Pip, paid him an extra penny and promised to find him more interesting tasks. "You've worked hard," said Cuthbert. "Well done. Have you enjoyed your first day?" "Very much, sir." "Good lad. See you tomorrow." Carrying his bag of coins and his account book, Cuthbert headed out of the theatre and went home, not giving the boy another thought. Go on, Pip. Hard working as well. Good boy. Bye, Year 4.